So I think this will just be a bit of an open sort of discussion, things that are on my mind at the moment, just to give you more of an update on where things are at. You see, I'm walking the path of the innovator in what I'm doing over in Thailand. Now, the path of the innovator is a rocky path. It's fraught with problems, it's fraught with difficulties. Often it's not the innovator who succeeds long term. Sometimes it'll be another company or another individual who will succeed. But the innovator's work is really important, because what the innovator does is lays a path for others to follow. Okay? I consider the most important work that I've done to be on this YouTube channel. Okay? Now, sure, I've done a huge amount of work, huge, to set up my servers, get them operational, set up my BTCPay servers, set up my computing infrastructure at home, get all that stuff running and ticking over and working correctly. All that sort of stuff is really important, of course. But it's these videos that are the most important. Okay, because regardless of whether I succeed or if I fail at what I'm doing, these videos are out there, okay, and it gives other entrepreneurs and other innovators the opportunity to see the path that I've laid down, the path that I've started, okay. And if anything happens to me, and of course something has happened to me, I've got a tear in my meniscus in my right knee, and I need surgery, and it's been a significant setback in my life and in my plans, and it's caused incredible pain over the past year, right? Individuals are fallible. Individuals can fail. They can have health issues. They can run into all sorts of problems. They can die, all this sort of stuff. But the path that the individual innovator lays down, that sets the path for others to follow. And that path is visible on this channel from these videos. Now, I don't know exactly who is watching these videos, okay? And I don't know exactly who will be watching these videos either now or in the future. But what I do know is that it's very likely that there'll be other people with a background in computing and in science and technology and in programming and in Bitcoin who will see these videos, and whether, you know, if I fail, they may consider taking up this work. They may do it with a twist. They may do it in a different market, okay? But regardless, I'm almost 100% confident, okay? In fact, I'd say I am 100% confident that there will be someone, or there will be, you know, some people who see these videos, and it gives them ideas, okay? They see the path that I've set down. They can see the technology that I've used. They understand the reasons why I've used that particular technology, BTCPay, to set all this stuff up. And if they follow in my footsteps, they would do something similar, either for their market or for the market that I'm working in, should I fail. And to me, I've really had a lot of time to reflect upon this, especially over the last 6 months, and whilst I was renovating, okay? Because, you know, let's face it, I was doing working class work, and as I was doing that working class work, that gave me time to think, because I wasn't operating at my full capability, of course. You know, I'm a computer scientist, and I've got a great deal of capability, skills, knowledge, experience in computing. So, for example, whilst I was renovating, there was downtime during that when I needed to rest. During that downtime, I used that downtime very effectively. What did I do? Well, I built out capacity on INTJ Billing's Lightning Network servers. Okay, what does that look like? What it looks like is that I've got channels open to other Lightning node operators from around the world. And I've built up almost $500,000 in terms of capacity. That will be lower now because the price of Bitcoin has fallen somewhat since its highs earlier this year. But it is still a significant capacity. And here in Victoria, INTJ billing, my company's Lightning nodes, my primary node is actually number 2 in all of Australia. That is a significant achievement, okay? And I do get incoming contact from people in the finance industry via LinkedIn and via other platforms where they have contacted me. They are interested in what I've done. They're not interested in the market that I'm working in, but they know full well that they too will need to build out Lightning, their own Lightning Network servers for their own market. So that's the thing. These videos, it offers them the ability to see what I've done and my reasonings why, and they take a part of what I've done, and they may just take parts of what I've done and implement it for their own market. And that was a large goal of what I've been working on as well. Okay, because there's always a catalyst. Okay, catalysts are very important in leadership, right? What's a catalyst? A catalyst is when someone comes along and they make it a change, or they put something out there, or they see something and they go ahead and do something, and it may or may not work out, okay? But the parts, other people see what they've done, and then they say, well, I could do that too. I can follow in this guy's footsteps. I can improve upon this. This is really important. Now, I engage with the Bitcoin community, and in particular with the Lightning community. I've engaged with them quite extensively over the last couple of years. You can see my posts on GitHub. Because the stuff is ahead of the curve. The stuff is that I'm working on is complex. It's technical. It needs collaboration with other innovators within the field, and in particular people within the BTCPay community and within the Lightning community, and the wider Linux community sometimes as well. Okay, so doing all this sort of stuff is really important, and I'm proud that I've done this. I'm proud that I've done it. That I started that work in the red light district in Thailand. And I knew I was early when I set out to do this, and I've really been thinking I was exceptionally early, and that's been the story of my life. I've always been early when it comes to technology, and I think it's important when someone comes forward and does something like this right early on. So at the moment, I don't really have a studio set up at home, so I've got to get in my car to make these sorts of videos. But it's an opportunity to talk with you, and for me to be out here. I'm in Williamstown at the moment. I just live in Spotswood, but it's an opportunity for me to talk openly about the stuff that I'm working on. Now, one other thing is that, especially over the last 6 months, I've taken the opportunity, because of my knee injury, which is severe, and I haven't been able to walk around a lot or run. Losing the ability to run, I've lost one of the greatest loves of my life. And that's caused an enormous impact. But I've had the time to really sit down and organize my files, my personal files. One of the best pieces of advice a close friend of mine gave me, I called him up early days of going to Thailand. I said, David, what advice can you offer me as a person who's about to expat to Thailand? And there was a pause, and then he said to me, Clarke, get your affairs in order. get my affairs in order. I cracked up laughing, and I knew it was a significant thing that he said. Of course, he was thinking, oh, Thailand's dangerous, it's a risky environment, this and that. But I reflected upon what he said, and he was actually spot on. And I spoke to Steve about this as well, and that manifested. How did that manifest? That manifested in me getting my files in order. So we're talking birth certificate, ID cards, my parents' marriage certificates, their ID cards, all their, getting a huge amount of paperwork, and it's like stacks like this, all this stuff for the formation of the Thai company. It just goes on and on. It took 6 months to organize all this stuff. And I took the opportunity, because my late father was a British citizen, I am eligible for a UK passport. I took that opportunity and I gained that UK passport. That took 13 weeks. 13 weeks. It was a lot of time and effort to get that British passport. They've really tightened things up. But I got it. Okay. And now I've got 2 passports. I've got my Australian passport and I've got my British passport. And I think that is really important that I've got that second passport in case anything bad happens in Thailand. I'll keep the British passport in at Siam Secure in Pattaya, where I'm keeping the girls' Bitcoin seed phrases. And if I need to, I'll be able to get it. I think that I'll be able to get out of the country pretty quickly. I don't think I'm going to run into any problems, but what I learned on my last trip to Pattaya, really seeing behind the curtain and seeing how things work, I came to the realization that a foreigner can do everything right and he can still run into significant issues. And often it won't be as a direct result of what the foreigner has done, but it will be as an effect of what the market there, in particular the fellow foreigners, will do, and quote unquote concerned citizens in Thailand. Concerned citizens are generally made up of a lot of Western men, and some Thais as well, but in particular Western men, who watch other foreigners, watch what they're doing, watch what they're about, and if they do anything outside the rules, they will dob those foreigners into the authorities. Now, of course, what I'm doing, I'm at high risk for that. That's the bottom line. I mean, I'm doing Bitcoin work. I haven't gone off and done anything dodgy in terms of creating my own crypto coin and putting it out there and scamming people. And I haven't done any of that. I went to Pattaya, I put an open source solution on the street and I gave it away to people. I gave it all away for free, okay? I wasn't there to extract from the environment, I was there to give to the environment. And I think the market there has recognized that. And I think people there will recognize more of that over time as BTCPay Server becomes more well known and people see its importance when it comes to human rights. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. The last 6 months getting all my paperwork in order, very, very significant effort, okay? Very significant. And it did take 6 months, at least. I mean, we're talking, think about this. To get the UK passport, I needed to find my late father's UK passport. I needed to get an original copy of my parents' marriage certificate. I needed to get my birth records, not just my birth certificate as an original, but I had to get my hospital records as well. Literally apply to the women's hospital in Carlton here where I was born and ask for my neonatal records and my birth records, originals. And to do that, I needed my mother's permission because they were interspersed with her records when she was pregnant. I needed to get my parents' marriage certificate. That also required authorization for my mother. There were a number of things that required my mother's authorization. And this process did take a lot of time and a lot of effort. I had to have her talk to hospital representatives. I had to get her to sign important documents, all this sort of stuff. And when my UK passport arrived in the post, wow, that was a fantastic, what a great day that was, because I thought to myself, this has been a significant amount of time and effort on my behalf. And to actually finally have it in my hands was very, very satisfying. And I realize that having a UK passport is a privilege. And there are a lot of people out there who are seeking UK citizenship who would do almost anything to have a British passport. And yes, whilst I had to go through a process of 13 weeks in order to get it and go through a large amount of family documents, I mean, it was extensive. They have to do more work, right? They've got to be resident for a number of years and they've got to work and all this sort of stuff. I got it through descent, family descent on my father's side, because I'm entitled to it. It was a significant piece of work, though, to get it. I had to dig through all my family photos. The passports office in the UK actually asked for photographs of myself with my parents and my brothers from birth to current date. They wanted the backs of the photographs. They wanted details. Who was in the photos, where the photos were taken, when the photos were taken as well. Significant amount of work to dig all that stuff up and to provide that to the UK government. So, and the other thing that I'll mention, I don't think I've mentioned, I might have mentioned this before, but the process of having my, I did mention it in a previous video, but to have my degree, my university degree and my police check certificate, to have those documents notarized by a senior barrister of the court here in Australia, to have those documents notarized by that barrister and then authenticated by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, have their stamp on it, and then to be legalized by the Thai embassy in Thailand, where they put the Thai stamp on it, and that's the Garuda, the Thai national symbol. That was a long and involved process. That was another 6 or 7 weeks, significant time and effort, multiple visits to my alma mater, the university, at Victoria University. All this sort of stuff, really important, because at some stage when I'm in Thailand, I'll be sitting in an office with a group of business people to register the Thai company, and they're going to ask, they're going to say, do you have your degree? And do you have your police check certificate? Do you have it notarized, authenticated, and legalized for use in Thailand? I can say, yes, I do. Tick, here it is. All right. Irrefutable proof that I'm a degree qualified computer scientist with a degree in computer and mathematical sciences. Irrefutable proof that I am not a criminal, that I have that police check certificate that states that I have no criminal record. And if any foreigner challenges me on it and says, oh, you're into crypto, you're a scammer, you're this, you're that, and say, with all due respect, here is my police check certificate. This has all been verified, and you can verify it online now with the Australian Federal Police. Really important. Why would I go to that extra step? Well, I need it to register the Thai company. And I found that within the nightlife environment, it is a low trust environment. And I did meet dodgy people over there, okay? I had dodgy people running up to me in the street because they saw me wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt. It was problematic, okay? And what was needed in that environment is somebody who can stand up and say, okay, this is the way that we're doing it. It's an open source solution. I am a trustworthy person. Here is my qualifications. Here is my police check certificate. This is the way that we're moving forward. Whether I succeed or not, it's important that someone stands up with my background, my skills, knowledge, experience, and the fact that I'm not a criminal, right? I think it's really important that sets a standard. Now, of course, in the future, someone better than me may come along. When I say better than me, someone with more skills, more experience, more knowledge. Perhaps they've got a master's or a PhD in computer science, or another relevant field where they can take over the work that I've done and improve upon it. really important. But I wanted, I recognized that I'd be able to use my own skills and experience to set a mark, to set a standard, as is. And, you know, I welcome anyone who comes along after me and improves upon that, right? At some point, you've got to draw a line in the sand and say, right, here's the standard. This is the best that I can personally do. Okay. If my best is not good enough, hopefully somebody else will come along in the future and beat me, and perhaps even blow me out of the water. And, you know, I would love to see that someone comes along and does better than me, because at the end of the day, this isn't about me or INTJ billing, or this is about Bitcoin and providing, okay, censorship resistant money, and the best savings vehicle in history for the Thai people, for people who have never had this kind of savings technology before. I think that's really, really important. Okay, really important. And you know, with me, hey, I've got a pension, I've got Bitcoin, I've got other assets. I can do this. I don't have to be setting out to make a whole lot of money, any of that stuff. I want the company to be able to be successful and to tick over and to make a profit, sure, but I can do this my way. Okay, I really can do this my way, and I feel that I do have time. Obviously, my health issues, that they are an issue, and I've got to get these health issues solved. Part of being a leader is recognizing when you're falling down on something. And I've recognized in the past when I've had health issues, I haven't been able to perform at a high level, where I've stepped back and I've let another person take over my responsibilities. That's really important as well. Leaders need to recognize that when they're facing health issues or personal struggles, stuff like that. Really important. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. It has been a struggle to get to this point, but remember, when I go back to Thailand, I'll be going back there with the BTCPay Server set up. I've got 3 of them set up. One of them, as I said, is the number 2 rated Bitcoin Lightning server in all of Australia. So I'm going back to that environment better than when I came back. Hopefully, once my knee's fixed and I get back to full fitness and that, I'm going back there being able to provide a high level of service, saying, right, we've got the service set up, we've got all the systems in place, we've got the KYC stuff that I'm able to do. Hopefully by that stage, I'll be able to register the Thai company. There are people that I'm talking to. There's a viewer of this channel who I've been talking to. He's an Australian citizen. He's also a UK citizen, and he's also a Thai citizen. That person is possibly going to become a very important person working with me, because he's able to do things that I can't do as a foreigner in Thailand. A Thai company's got to be 51% owned by a Thai. I can't have full control of the Thai company. There's a lot of things within that environment. And of course, on my last trip, I spent significant time and effort doing research on Thai company setup and what the Thai laws are and what I have to adhere to and where I have to be careful, all this sort of stuff. So really important. And I think that I need to spend more time with that person, and he lives over in Perth. I've got to go and see him. And I know he wants to do other business in Thailand as well, which, if I can help him in any way in that, I would be most interested in helping him. So I think the future, it looks good. It looks bright. Just got to get these health issues dealt with. And they say if you don't have your health, then you've got nothing. And I think that's very much true, because when you've got a physical injury, it also affects you mentally. And I've really come to understand that now with this meniscus tear. Not being able to walk properly, not being able to run or exercise. It's taken a significant toll on my body. I've gained weight, but mentally I've also lost peace of mind, and I've lost, there's been some dark days because I haven't been able to physically do what I want to do. Losing the ability to walk straight, all this sort of stuff. it's taken a toll, and I want to be at my best when I get back to Thailand. So I may continue to make videos here in Melbourne, whilst I'm recovering and getting back to speed before I get back to Thailand. But I've had enough time. There's a lot of content that I'm going to produce in Thailand, because I've been thinking about it all since I've been renovating and doing stuff. There's a lot of videos that I want to create and put out there. And when it comes to the viewership of this channel, look, this channel is never going to have a huge viewership, okay? I'm not setting out to create a channel that is a hype channel, or that is, a money channel, or this is how you make a fortune, or that. I'm not setting out for any of that stuff. There'll be people who will judge this channel based upon how many viewers it's got, how many people are subscribing to it, stuff like that. But I don't think that that's the right way to judge a channel like mine. I think the way to judge it is based on the content and based on what I put out there. And sometimes in life, what we find is that a person is ahead of his time, okay? And then we look back, and we see that with the movie, for example, The Truman Show. That movie was well ahead of its time, and it was very, predicted a lot of things. But when it came out in 1998, people thought, oh, what is this? And some people thought, this movie is fantastic. It's well ahead of its time. I think that's going to happen with this channel and with the work that I'm doing. I'm ahead of the curve. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be interesting to see, right, where all this ends up. Hopefully it will all end up as a success. And I'm judging my success not by whether the business works or not. I'm hoping that it will, but ultimately what I'm judging the success of what I'm doing in Thailand on is the path. Have I laid down a path? It might just be a dirt path. It might even not be a full dirt path. It might just be a path that you can just see, right? You say, all right, there's the path. There's the path, right? If I'm able to lay down that path and look at it, and other people are able to follow it, that's a success in my book. That's the most important success, to leave this as a legacy that other entrepreneurs can follow. And other success in terms of business success, that may come later. You can never really predict business success when it comes to things, because you don't know what the demand is going to be like, right? It's one thing if you go and create a bar. There's a lot of bars in Thailand. We know what the economics of bars are. I took a small shareholding in a bar here in Melbourne. I understand the economics of bars. I understand that I would be able to make a little bit of money in Pattaya with a bar. I wouldn't be able to make a huge amount of money. I might lose a little bit of money doing it. But with this, we just don't know, right? What we do know is with an exchange, the opportunity to make a commission is always there. And that's the basis of how I want to structure the business. I have got a couple of test users in Thailand who have been purchasing Bitcoin from me in an informal manner, because I can't do that fully legally yet either. But those users I've been very thankful towards, because they've enabled me to develop comprehensive procedures, right? And I have spent a lot of time creating those procedures and making sure they're all correct. And at the end of the day, as a foreigner with the Thai company, once it's all set up, I would have to employ 4 Thais. What does that look like? They will probably be contractors, people like Oi, who I've worked with before on the channel, who, what kind of work will they be doing? Well, handing out flyers in Soy 6, working one-on-one with the bar girls, helping them set up the Bitcoin wallets on their phones, all this sort of stuff. I need a person to do that. I need a person to do something else, and hopefully we'll be able to get it to all work. So yeah, I hope this update has been of interest to you all. I greatly value each of you who watch these videos, and yeah, do feel free to get in contact with me if you've got any questions. Always like answering questions from people, and I'm a very easily contactable person. You can go to my website, intjbilling.com, or You can contact me. There's many ways you can contact me. All my socials and everything are on my website. So, all right, all the best, everyone. I'm Clarke Towson, CEO of INTJ Billing.